Hi, I'm Cheryl Paul with Instill Yoga Therapy. One of my greatest joys is teaching people to have their own yoga practice that supports their active lifestyle. So if you're someone who likes to hike or paddle or ski or any outdoor activities, indoor activities, just something that really makes life worth living for you, then coming to one of my classes will really help you to understand how yoga can support those practices, so they can help you get stronger, more agile, and better at those pursuits and with less pain. So what I really like to focus on is novel movement, teaching your nervous system to move in new ways so that you have more to choose from in terms of strategies for strengthening and agility. So today I'm going to give you a little example of that in a progression toward triangle pose. So how can triangle pose actually improve your hip function rather than triangle pose just being something that you try to achieve in and of itself? So we're going to start by laying on your back. So you don't need a lot of props for this. The only thing that you might need is something like a yoga block, which you could use a firm blanket or a book or anything that's about this size. You're going to start just with a simple warm-up. You're laying on your back. You're going to bring your feet about hip width distance and just place your hands on your pelvis. And initially we're just going to roll to the outer edge of the right foot and inner edge of the left foot to bring the knees in that direction. And then we're going to come back to center and explore the other direction. So the space underneath your hands shouldn't be moving. And as this gets to be familiar and you can feel the connection from your feet to your hips, then you're going to start to expand the movement so that the left side of the pelvis comes up as the left knee drops down toward the floor. And then that comes back together. And then you drop the other direction. The pelvis, rib cage stay together. And my shoulders are staying rested. So now I'm bringing a little bit more into the chain. Again, if you go too far, you might pop out and come into a back bend. So try to stay in a range that is just rotations. We're trying to relax through the upper body and let the lower body guide. We're going to do 2 more to each side. Really feel where your legs go from out to the side to rotation, and then out of rotation, and then back to the side. So there's a couple ranges of motion happening here. And then you're going to come back to center, take a couple of breaths, and you're going to roll over onto your side, and come on up. You're going to grab your yoga block or whatever it is that you're using, and you're going to place your right knee on that block. Now if you have trouble weight bearing on your knee, there will be a standing you could do a standing variation of this where you would put your knee on a block on the wall and just explore, so with the foot on the floor rather than this. Okay, so the right leg's extended, left knee is on the block. And with the right leg, we want to teach this hip to do some stuff, so you're going to roll onto the center of the heel. And then think about the thigh bone being the thing that's driving. You're going to bring the big toe mound back down. You're going to bring it up and back down. I'm trying to keep the pelvis nice and still so you really feel the movement through the leg. And then come back to toes pointing toward the ceiling. And then you're going to focus on your ankle. So what you're going to do is try to pull your heel toward the block and then push away. So this is all an action through the ankle. And you're letting the pelvis just kind of come along for the ride. And when the toes point the ceiling again, you're going to internally rotate, drop the outer edge of the big toe down, and then drop the rest of the foot down. And then with the left leg, you're going to externally rotate to bring the toes underneath you. So if you look back, you should be able to see them. And then we're going to practice actually going into a little bit of a pelvic tilt. So when we're here, you want to think about the inner line of this leg and let the push into the big toe drop you down, and the pull into the big toe, bring you back up. one more of those. Switch legs. So right knee comes up onto the block now, left leg extends. And again, we're going to turn the toes up toward the ceiling and practice that rotation through the thigh. So drop the outer edge of the big toe mound down, and up, and down, and up. One more. Again, try to let the pelvis not move so much, because if I do too much of this, then I'm not getting that action through the hip. And then toes point the ceiling, and then you're going to shorten and lengthen the heel a few times and let that take you toward your foot and back toward the opposite leg. One more. And then you're going to rotate the leg, so internal rotation, big toe mound down, flatten the foot. And now we're going to tip the pelvis. We're really focusing on the inner line of the leg, outer glute. Good. Okay, and then the last thing you're going to do is actually bring this up into standing. So if you've got a wall nearby, you're going to place your right toe, big toe mound, so right up on the wall, so you're on your heel. Step the left foot back. And then you're going to pretend that your right foot is pushing on a gas pedal. So you're going to relax through the pelvis, push into the big toe mound, and let that push the left side of the pelvis away. And see how now this brings me into the pelvis movement that I need to come into triangle. So rather than the habitual just bend through the spine to get your hand down, we're actually feeling that really good motion through the hip. And this is how triangle pose can improve your hip function. So you can do things like hike and run and ski with more ease. Okay, so you see this from the back now, so left big toe mound, step the right foot out, and then again, press into the gas pedal to send the right hip back. And then just enjoy how your hips feel. There should feel like there's a lot more range of motion available in there. Thank you so much.